Welcome to Diaries.
Step into a world where imagination meets possibility, where ideas once reserved for dreams become reality. Join Dave, Miss A, and Omni-Wan in the Data Diaries, the show that opens the door to the future of artificial intelligence. Each week, discover fresh, innovative ways AI can streamline your life and supercharge your creativity. From automating daily tasks to producing show-stopping content for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, and more. Your journey into the next era of innovation starts here.
That shit was fire.
Let's go.
Bro, that was fire. Bro, that was so good. That was so good. What's good, everybody? I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome, episode 2 of the Data Diaries. Man, it's been a crazy week for us, but let me just say what's up to my co-host. Omi-Wan, what's good, bro?
I'm good. I'm excited for episode 2. I think after episode 1, I've been looking forward to this one all week long. I know we got some exciting stuff to cover with the folks, and I'm ready. I'm pumped. Let's go.
Let's go, man. Let's go. I love it. Miss A, what's cooking? You good?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm excited. I'm actually lucky that it unmuted and I was fine. But yeah, I'm excited as well because we've done so much stuff in the background. So it's going to be fun to see the reaction of people when they see what we've actually managed to do, which is why this whole simplicity of AI and how, in this case, Dave being the vibe coder that he is, as well as Juan as well, that's going to be a good thing because that vibe coding is where we're going to get people to understand this. So I'm excited to see if people are also going to test it out.
Hell yeah. This is going to be so much fun. Like, I know that we were chatting obviously like a little bit.
Was that a sound effect?
You like that? I don't know. I try. No? Was that good? No good? You don't like that one? I feel like this is going to be... It's all good.
I just wish we had emojis. We don't have emojis. We need to talk to StreamYard and get emojis in here.
Maybe. But I hope everybody is good in the chat. What's up? I'm going to start sharing this out on socials, obviously. Make sure that we get a bunch of people in here. But you guys are in for a treat today because... actually, before I even get there, I feel like this banner is going to screw up the whole thing that we've been working towards, like right before this. So I think I'm just going to leave this like this. You know what I'm saying? Like the banner, it is what it is. Sponsors get at us and then we'll throw the banner down there. You know what I'm saying? Like we get paid and we'll throw the banner down there. But you guys are in for this is going to be some really, really good shit because you're going to realize exactly what we can build or what you can build with these tools. And I think people really they don't understand exactly how impactful some of this stuff can be because even just before this, we started just queuing up a bunch of different things and it was just spinning up websites like left and right. And this shit is just moving so fast that, you can really you can build a lot of stuff with this, genuinely a lot of shit. So I'm going to be excited. I know that people are going to start trickling in obviously in a little bit. I'm going to share this out in a couple of different group chats, but AI's been a little bit busy, man. It's been a little bit busy this week. But Omi-Wan, amazing job on the intro video, by the way, bro. That was what went into making even just the intro video?
Thank you, buddy. Yeah. It's after that little trailer that we did for last week's show, I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to go back into the lab and we're going to cook something up for this week and then going forward, So thankfully I was able to work with Miss A on the vocals and, went in and just tried to think about how can I put how can I make an intro that people are going to really, vibe with, engage with, and it's really going to call people in. So just started to kind of tweak things, play with things, and, really focus around what the theme of the show is, right? So how can we use AI to empower your life and do the things that you want it to do, whether it's, in a business form or in social form, or, there's just so many different things that you can use AI for now. So, and then of course me, I love creating. So I'm creating videos, I'm creating music, so it was perfect for me. So yeah, that was a little treat.
Let's go. Yeah, I mean, and I mean, we kind of look like a legitimate. You would think that there was like a whole team of like people behind like what we're doing, like with how like like it looks legit.
I'm just saying, bro. Like we're stepping our game up, baby.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Visay, I know you said you were doing a little bit of homework on some AI stuff this week. How was your week? What's been cooking on the AI front with you?
It's been really good. I think one of the things that I will probably talk about or give some heads up about today, because Omi-Juan and I were kind of coming to this conclusion that when you look at the products of N8N, which you see a lot of these workflows all over Twitter, and one of the biggest hooks that they're using is like, oh, you know, DM us and we'll send you it for free, retweet, like, DM. And it's kind of like it's a grift because they're not really sending it to people. But the reality is that it takes more time than just, you need to understand more. It's not as easy as they make it seem. And what we figured out practicing and getting set up is that the main essential piece is that workflow. It doesn't have to be in tech. It could just be in natural language where you just take a notebook and or a whiteboard with a friend or a colleague and start hashing out how that process will work, and then take it to the minutia, which is the smallest piece, and start scaling or building from there. And not to be geeky, but this is kind of OOP, object-oriented programming, which means we stack like Legos on top of an initial prompt. And that is where it's going to be really exciting. And what you'll see from us today, hopefully I could get something done on my side as well, is how that shows up, like how that shows up through a prompt, and then what it will look like as the output of that prompt.
Yeah.
So there you go. I've just been geeking out, been breaking stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the name of the game, right? It's literally like let's break some shit. Let's like put these things to the limits, because like we were obviously like, and shout out to the GenSpark team that has kind of, they've hooked us up with a bunch of obviously like different credits and stuff. And obviously like we're big proponents of like, you know, the tools that they have. And the latest one, the second, I think it was probably like maybe a half hour, an hour after we ended the show last week, that they come out with this tool that we're going to be showcasing today, which is AI Developer, which genuinely allows you to create some of the most insane stuff. I mean, we created a whole Data Diaries website. You're going to see today, like Omi-Juan created a whole sneakerhead site. Miss Abe was prompting this thing so that we can create like a whole like resale site. Like we were cloning websites. So there's so much stuff that we can genuinely do with this shit. And that's kind of what we want to do. We kind of just want to like, you know, break shit. Exactly like what Miss A was saying. Like we want to just put stuff in, start testing stuff out, and be able to see like what's what. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of just dig in. Yeah.
Dave, that's how people, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Miss A.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, thanks. I was going to say that what you just described is really important. So I just wanted to dovetail back to it.
Yeah.
Not to be afraid of breaking things and sort of stepping through. And even Omi-Juan admitted that he's kind of like reading code. And I think that like I've been a part of a lot of hackathons and a lot of girl hackathons, women hackathons. And there's something really nice when you have a sense of accomplishment where you could actually understand the logic that's happening, because the computer is going to read from A to Z in order. So as long as you're able to articulate what you want in order, you should be okay. But if you're watching it, you could actually, it'll teach you what you said that might not be correct. And they go, oh my God, that was not what I meant. I need this. And then if you're watching it, you're learning as you're watching it, which is why I'm a big fan. And I've been a big fan since the days of Clubhouse of micro learnings. And micro learnings are going to be the future of education. And I think most people have the attention spans of kumquats, but we need to have more micro learning. Sorry, it's the truth. But the other part of it that's really interesting, and I'll close it up with this, is that the micro learnings that you happen is also, if we don't want AI to take over our lives, Omi-Juan talked about this with me as well, we have to be really prevalent that we have to navigate the AI agents and know how to run them, or they will run our lives because they will be more complex and we won't be able to manage them and we'll be spending hours trying to fix them. So the key is we want to understand it so these agents and AIs run efficiently so that we could be chilling on a beach or in Mykonos or in Ibiza and just kind of enjoying our life while our agents are working for us. Not that we're working for them, they're working for us, because that I see is the future. those agents will be working for us. But if we're not good managers and leaders, we're going to be burnt out.
So two things, Miss A, and I appreciate you putting me out there like that. I do like to read code, so just so that way everybody knows. But more importantly, and this is the one thing I wanted to say, is that don't be afraid to like enter stuff into the prompts, right? Like, don't be afraid to ask AI stuff. Like, I think that that's one of the big things for me initially. Like, I didn't know like where even to start, right? And that's okay. Like, it's okay to not know where to start, but don't be afraid to ask questions. By asking questions, you start to learn more by the responses that you get, and then you start to refine your questions. You start to perfect your prompting, and that's one of the things that, like, you know, looking at the code, like as I see things start to kind of create, I'm like, I see what it's using and how it's doing it, and that's helping me to refine my process as well. So I'm kind of like Cypher in the Matrix, right? I just see blonde and brunettes now. I don't even see the code now, so it's just, you know, that's how I work.
It's true, right? Because like once you start putting it through, like a lot of these AIs are going to show you kind of like, it's what's called chain of thought reasoning, right? And it'll show you step by step how the agent is actually going through the entire process, right? So it's going to show you like, hey, I'm thinking, all right, here's the task list that I created, and we're going to show you guys today like how it actually does this and essentially what the end result is. But what Only One's saying is like, as you're reading through how it's thinking, you're still getting ideas and you're learning how to figure out like, oh shit, okay, so if I know that these are the steps, maybe I can ask for specific things like this, and I know how to then refine, right? And then maybe it makes you a better, like, so instead of just starting with like, I want to create a website that does this, and it's just super plain, you're like, okay, I want this, so that like it's easier for you to kind of like get started. But yeah, I'm 100% with you guys. And yeah, I want to be chilling on the beach in Ibiza.
Yes, please.
Mykonos. Yes, please. Like, sign me up. Sign me up. Oh.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We'll be be there with our laptops running our agents.
Oh, that would be so nice. That's the goal. That it really is.
Look,
the goal.
we're manifesting. I am super stoked for next month when I'm actually crewing for Tony Robbins, and I'm going to get to share all of this. And like literally, this is something that I've been doing for a while, and it's so amazing that I'm actually at a point with like the help of all these tools, and especially GenSpark's really game changed how things are. I'm looking forward to seeing how I could share this and also uplift others, because this is literally how your small businesses in the US, whether, you know, Dave, you and I were chatting about this when it comes to real estate. I'm looking forward to having a conversation someday with Grant Cardone and seeing what's possible, because the reality is you do and will need this in these larger industries where there's a lot of waste. And I was just listening to a developer and a technical company just today describe that humans are not reliable, and AI is actually more reliable than a human. So it's not a negative, but she was talking about how like their company actually has humans checking the AI and making sure it's correct. So because I work in tech and I've done Q&A and quality assurance, I could read some of this code and say, okay, this is making sense. This isn't making sense, because I've done that in my career. But when this goes out to the masses, there still needs to be the awareness that you may still need to check with someone just to make sure it's okay. But that still saves time, energy, and money, which is what do we want? We want more time and save money. And that's what your two biggest needs are when you're looking at the future of the creator economy and the future of the digital revolution that started way a few years ago already.
Facts. Yeah.
Well said.
Yeah, I mean, that's all of this, right? Like I use it to you know what's interesting though is like I use it to save time. Like I want it to save time, but I just find myself deeper and deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole like every single week. You know what I mean? And it's just like there's just another tool and more and more and more, and it's just moving at such a breakneck pace that I'm almost like, damn, like when is this stuff going to stop? But I actually saw something really.
It's not going to stop, Dave. It's not going to stop.
I know. And I've come to terms with the fact that it's not going to stop. So it's like, I need to obviously like get better and figure out like what's my lane. And I think this is an important thing to kind of maybe stress to everybody that's watching is like, find your lane and like don't get distracted by a million other things. Don't be like me, right? Because like I play with everything and anything, which is cool, but I also, that means like I never finish something. And there's tools now for you to be able to genuinely like finish something. And like if you're genuinely looking about like looking to build a business or whatever the case is, like, and what we'll show you today, see something through. Don't be like me. See it through for real. Yeah. Guys, I also put the free credits, the GenSpark credits. There's still a bunch left in there. I think they re-upped. So if you guys obviously, if there's anybody in the chat or anybody watching that wants to obviously take advantage of the free credits, please feel free, go for it. But what do you say, guys? You ready to jump right in or what?
Yeah. Let's go. I'm ready.
Let's go.
Okay. So let me just share the screen. Okay. GenSpark, the all-in-one workspace. Okay, wait, how does this look? Let me make sure. Okay, we're all aligned. Okay, I think we're good. We're all aligned on the side here so that, you know, for post-production purposes, like, you know, yeah, I think we should be good. But so you guys know, okay, and I'm literally just going off the cuff here because I see Gex that's in the chat. Gex, shout out to you, Tony. Thank you for obviously reposting the stream. Ideas. If you guys have ideas of what you want us to build literally live on stream right now, this is something that like we want to showcase this AI developer tool so you guys genuinely get to see how like this stuff actually works. We did a couple of prompts like beforehand, right? So that we're going to be able to like just show you guys kind of like what's the like what is the actual output, but it actually doesn't take that long. And we'll show you essentially like what we built last week with the Data Diaries website. We built a whole resale website. Omi-Wan built a whole sneaker website. But like what I want to do now is like I want to walk you guys through kind of like how this actual thing works. So here, so if you guys are seeing here, the second that I'm on like sorry, let me share this real quick so people know what I'm doing. Right. So when you get to the GenSpark home screen, right, you have all of these different agents here. Now, the super agent is comprised of all of these. So you can genuinely just type in here something that you want, and it will essentially use any one of these tools, right, based off of the prompt that you actually gave it. Right. But I want to showcase like the developer tool. So here, I'm going to go on this side. And when you click on the developer tool, this is the first thing that's going to come up. It shows simple website or app, like which one do you want to build? And it says perfect for quick prototypes, landing pages, small applications, built-in database support. Cool, right? Like not file intensive, not heavy. You don't have too much authorization stuff. It doesn't take any of like APIs. You can still do that though and build a full stack website. So it says production ready stack, authorization, account management, meaning like if you have clients, customers, whatever, a full backend database and more. So you could do either or, right? What we did is we did a couple of these, but again, you can build, or if you're a developer, like a real developer that knows how to actually code and you have an existing GitHub, all you do is just literally like link up your existing GitHub and you're 100% good to go. So check this out. If I do this, right? If I wanted to say like simple website or app and I click start building, it opens it up and this is as simple as it can get, genuinely as simple as it gets, right? And if I give it one simple prompt, so Gex, I know that you're making like that you do your calendar, right? Like every single week, and it's probably a little intensive, right? So if I wanted to, let's say, build a calendar app, right? I want to say I want to build a calendar app / website. Yo, talk to me.
No, that's a great idea. Yeah, because I don't know how much work. I mean, I know that she's definitely gotten a lot better with it, but this would probably save her a lot of time if she had something that you can easily just go to.
Yep, that I can update week to week with different images and text. I don't know, right? Like maybe that's at its basic form. Boom, right? Like maybe that's what Gex. I have no idea like what goes into actually making like a full-on like calendar application. I really don't. But when I click it and I say, okay, this is how I get started, and it's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. It's actually gonna start using all of these different tools, and it creates the list for us, right? So first, setting up the database, right, for the calendar entries with an image. Then it creates the HTML structure, like for the website with a calendar grid layout. then CSS, like this is the shit that I have no idea, right? I don't design. I'm not a designer. I know nothing. I don't code. I don't do any of this stuff. But as I'm looking at this, what Omi-Wan was saying before, look, you look through the steps and it's like, okay, now it's creating an admin interface. It's creating for like sample data and test functionality. Cool. Now the ideas essentially start clicking through my head and it starts executing on every single one of these tools, right? So now it's like, okay, checklist done. The first thing is done. It set up the database. Now it's creating like the main HTML structure with the calendar layout. Okay, cool. I don't know. And again, you're going to be able to adjust all of this stuff as you move forward, right? So like it's going to execute all of this, but then once it's done, you can then go back and obviously edit any single thing that you want, anything that you want. So while this is cooking, and this, look how fast it's going through this though, guys.
I know, it's crazy.
This is wild. It's literally everything happening in the background. It's nuts. Yeah, I mean, this is wild stuff, and we can cut again. There could be full on customization. We could build again a full application, and we can do that obviously like in this episode as well. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys kind of like what's what. But Omi-Wan, while this is cooking, I'll stop sharing. You want to share maybe like the sneaker one and kind of walk us through the sneaker thing that you did?
Yeah, absolutely. Here, let me pull that up for you.
Yeah. Gex, we're gonna cook you up something nice. Let's go.
All right.
So cool.
Yeah, so this was one that I just off the top of my head, because I know a lot of folks that, love collecting sneakers, buying and selling sneakers, and so, and this is as basic as it gets, right? I asked it, I said, can you create a web app for sneakerheads to buy and sell shoes? That's all I put in there, right? And it says, yeah, sure, I can help you create a web application for sneaker enthusiasts. So like this is super cool because from that one simple ask, it understood exactly what I meant. And then it started putting the what it needed to do, right? So it started to do some research, and then it just goes through all the different features that it's going to be looking to, fill. So the key for the buyers, it's going to look for an advanced search and filters, and all the stuff here. And then for sellers, it's also going to give you an easy way to resell those sneakers. But I mean, this is out of one simple question, it came up with this whole sneakerhead, Sneaker Hub app, where you can go in and you can see what are the prices of Air Jordan 1 Retros right now, what are the prices of the Yeezys, Travis Scotts, and then it also shows right here the metrics behind it. So right now there's over 25,000 active users, right, that are looking for these types of things, right? So this is great. 2 million in sales. This is just from sneakers, buying and selling sneakers, right? So if you want, what's a sneaker that you're looking for, Dave? Let's put it up and let's see.
Yeah, put in the Nike or the Nike SBs.
All right.
I love this. And also, when you're done, see if it can. What I would also do is prompt it to essentially search the web, like in the prompt, search the web for images and see if it can update the images with the actual sneakers.
Yeah, I was thinking that afterwards.
It should be able to do that.
Yeah.
It should be able to do that if he puts the name of the sneaker and asks.
Right.
It has them.
The prompt,
it has them already, right? Like, look, right? Look,
yeah,
it has
just tell them to look for
already.
the search. Yeah,
Yo,
search for the image on the
sick.
internet.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be so sick.
So I mean, this is just So here you go, Nike SB Dunk Lows.
Done and done. And now, and it's full e-commerce too, right? Like, because that's the other thing that I think people don't understand is you can genuinely hook this up, right, to, let's say, a Stripe account or you name it. You can genuinely hook this up. And so people understand this is like the framework and what's building it for you. I think the next piece is well, how do I get this? That's fucking cool. That is cool.
I mean, look at this.
That is
Average
really
price across all sneakers, popular brands, gives you trends.
Okay,
it's a whole interactive dashboard.
Drooling over this.
Yeah.
I'm drooling over this.
So
the reason I'm drooling over this is because having worked decades in fashion and having been a forecaster, one of the things that I have always done for a long time is forecasting out brands and categories across the United States. So this is actually very helpful for someone that's in the fashion business, not the design and marketing side, the business of fashion, which is very different. It really has to do with forecasting, replenishment, and how do we get retail to the marketplace. This allows me, someone with my skills would look at this and be like, oh, wow, this is a really good selling product. So it's going to be like, yeah, I think I need to order more to construct this more, and sort of ease up on the products that don't sell that well. So from an e-commerce perspective, e-commerce is connected to retail, which is omni-channel, and it has to go to the brand. So when this information populates and it shows you the sales and the product history, this is information that fashion companies on the side of the business would really love to see this, because it gives them a bird's eye view. And as you were doing this, I literally had, what this is going to do is it's going to take away all of your Squarespaces, your Elementor, all of your Wix. It's going to do away with all of those website hosts that you pay something like $25 to $30 a month to host all your, because it looks pretty, right? I think that this is going to be game changing for people that like want to create e-commerce sites or Etsy.
We lost her.
I think we may have.
I think what she was going to say was Etsy.
Like it's going to be
oh, there you go. You're back. Can you say you there or no?
Yeah, I say Etsy because it's a shop in London that I remember. So it's actually Etsy, right? But I'm actually, while you are making this sneaker community and all this other stuff, from our conversation earlier, I think I might be able to present to you something that dovetails with this very shortly. So I'll probably pop it in the link, and then you guys could show it, and then I could talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this,
This is
Dave.
great.
It has posts, latest posts, trending topics. Like all this stuff is already all pre-built.
It built a whole community board.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That is so freaking cool. That's wild, man. That is so wild. Yeah. I mean, it's so nuts. Hold on one second. Yeah, go ahead. Go for it.
No, and I was going to say,
What was the prompt that you used?
I mean, it was one simple question. I said, build a web app that sneakerheads can use to find and sell shoes. That's all I did.
That's
simple. Like that easy.
That's
nuts.
It was one sentence.
That's actually vibe coding right there. The more simpler your question is, or the simpler your ask is, the more that the system has the freedom to create. It's like when you go to a hairdresser, and the hairdresser has all this experience about cutting hair. But if you try to dictate what the hairdresser is going to do for you, you're going to come out looking not your best. But when you go in and say, you know what, hairdresser, do you, boo. You do what you feel, other than these few things that I want, like don't cut my hair short, don't put any bangs, I don't want layers, and don't try and color my hair. Those are the 3 things or 4 things that you could tell them. And then after that, bam, like they work magic. But if you try to interrupt their flow, it never comes out good. And this is why this is such a great, the vibe coding's a real thing with people, because you learn to describe what you want in a succinct manner without having to have so much words. And then afterwards you could tweak it.
Put in the prompt, ask it to search the web and update the actual the images to the corresponding photo, to the corresponding sneakers. Let's see what it does. That's gonna be fucking cool. That's gonna be fucking crazy. That's gonna be wild, because this is something that could be really cool. And shout out to Tony. Tony, I hope you're good, bro. I miss you, man. I hope everything is good, my brother. All right, let's see. Yeah, cook. Can you? Okay. What this is? What does it say?
Yeah, it says it's gonna search. Look, it's pulling up.
Yo! Oh, you gotta love the old school, like the dad New Balances. Oh, the Vans. I love it. I wonder if there's like
Vans,
any like
Triple Crown.
restrictions. Yeah, I wonder if there's any like restriction. Oh, see, now it's gonna like
Actually, Dave, that's a really valid point about restrictions with photography
Yeah.
and
Is there
royalties
like,
of
do you
those
know?
photographs. There is, because what has to happen, and I'm sure that GenSpark probably is in conversations about this already, which means that if something is pulled and a site is created from inside the container of GenSpark, then they could also make an agreement with the owners of these photographs to be like, hey, if someone uses a photograph, could we just get a license for like all these photographs and pay, they have to negotiate an agreement is what I'm trying to ultimately say. They can't just use these pictures without getting in trouble, because they're not commons, they're not Creative Commons where they're royalty free. It's not like that. These are actually products. So it's really about how they would come forward.
Copy. Okay. So now it's literally taking like the images that it found and ultimately just rebuilding like the whole shit. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is nuts.
All right. So I'll come back to that. Hold on. I'm going to share my screen now so that you guys can see how we can edit this kind of like calendar. And I was looking for, oh wait, Emma, did you shared something in the chat also?
Yeah, take a look at that. I want to see if it'll open up, and then I want to talk a little bit about it because it was actually pretty interesting what came up, and I could kind of walk you through.
So you have to make sure.
So
when you create these, by the way, you have to make sure that you're essentially sharing it with everybody. So you see this little image. You guys see my screen here, right? So at the top over here, you have to hit this little button, right, that says share anyone with the link, because otherwise it stays private and it can only be you that accesses it. So make sure that like anytime you guys are going to be doing something, you click here, anyone with the link.
I will do that now.
Okay. And I'm gonna, while you do that, I'm gonna
thanks for
like
sharing that.
this. Yeah, for sure. I just want to see if I can pull Gex's calendar. Wait, hold on one second. I'm gonna see if we can pull like maybe this link, copy video address. So I just copied Gex's calendar from this week. Let's see. Can you emulate this calendar? And I'm just going to put the link to the video. I have no idea if it can actually do this or not. But let's see. Let me first.
Dave, did you try to?
Yeah.
Did you try to click on that link? Because that's a published link. That's a published link to the internet. Anyone can view that link.
It's the GenSpark link?
Yeah, the one I sent you is there's a button that says publish to the internet, like meaning you could publish it publicly even before it goes hosted to a website.
Right, but you have to hit what I showed you. I can't access that. I can't access it. So what you have to do is what I showed you is like you have to click. We
may have our first little technical bug because I've already done all that. So we might have already found our first bug potentially, but I'll double check.
Yeah, the link literally shows private. You sent the private one. You have to send the public one. It'll say in the link public. So you'll see it. Yeah, just do essentially that, and you should be good to go. But let's see this. So now it's like wild. Right, like.
Well, and it just finished the sneakerhead update, so this is pretty crazy.
Shoot, I want to see. Oh wait, hold on. Okay, wait. So this one, it's like, how many things do we got actually fucking cooking out here? So now it says, okay, wait. So now this is updating like the style. Let's see. The JavaScript for the social media style type calendar. Okay, this is cool. Okay, wait. So while this is doing that, Obi-Wan, you go. All right, switch.
There you go.
All right, let's do it.
Look at that.
Yo, what?
Look at that. This is crazy.
That is wild. What the fuck?
How look at how easy that was. That was 2 questions, and this is what it came up with.
Bro, it's literally like a whole fucking site.
I know. It never ceases to amaze. This is crazy.
That's nuts. And so like, because I'm a psycho when it comes to like the design aspect of a lot of this shit. So like you see how like the floating things are like are a little off. Like see if you can prompt it to be like, hey, so like make sure that you format and like you align it so that you see how like this is like it, because this throws my eyes off, right? So like you want kind of all this to be aligned. I think you can like adjust that. Like I don't know how to say it, but if you're just like, hey, can you just make sure that like the prices and each, I guess, item like is formatted like and aligned, I don't know, what do you think, like symmetrically? Is that what we would say?
I mean that, yeah, I think that's because I know what you're saying.
Let's
so like
see.
these ones don't match
Yeah.
up with the way it is, and like the picture is a little bit off.
Yep. But you see kind of like you're still going to need to do some tweaking, right? Because here you have the like the images of the sneakers, and then here there's like the background of it, right? It's like you want the consistency, and this is where I think kind of like the refinement kind of comes into play. Totally. Because it's like, yeah, you have to then like look, it built you the base of everything that you need. So at the end of the day, like it like that's your starting point. Now it's just like now you kind of take like, you know, the fine-tooth comb and you're like let me go through this and like let me update this, let me make sure that it does that, let me make sure that it does this. And it's really, really fucking cool. Just like, I mean, bro, it created you a whole community hub. It created you an insights dashboard.
That's what I'm going to check these out before I put in that prompt, because I know it's going to change it, but I want to see what it did.
This looks amazing. This looks really cool.
Sick.
Hey, Dave, I think we did find, we could have potentially, I think we did find our first bug, because on the execution, sorry, now I'm going to get technical. On the execution of the click that I gave you, the first one, that was public and it was published. But when I hit the published website, when it opens up the URL, it opens it up to the private one. So if you click the second one I sent you, see if it opens up. After we see Omi Juan's beautiful sneakers here, double check that second link that I sent you and tell me if you're still seeing that. Because if it is, we've just found our first bug to send GenSpark.
No. So it's not a bug, right? So so you have to hit publish and then share.
Yes, but the point is
then
that
share.
Indeed, but the publish and share, where is the share on your screen? Because I don't see the share after you publish it, and it could be just the screen I'm on.
In the top right corner.
Not to disturb the beautiful sneakers.
That's okay.
In the top right corner, you'll see there was like the thing with the little arrow. You know when you like paste something in the nest on Twitter Spaces?
Yeah, but this is why Dave doesn't teach tech. This is why.
Line up.
We're just sending you lots of love, Dave. We're sending you lots of love.
Line up.
Ahita.
What else we got?
Now, gracias.
Okay. This is fucking, there's so much shit cooking. Okay, this is so cool. Okay, dope.
This is absolutely nuts. This.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you. All right, what do we put in, Obi-Wan?
I said line up the prices and pictures so that they are symmetrical and match up. So we'll see what it does.
Let's see.
How's the calendar looking?
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Okay. Let me share. Calendar.
I'm a little scared what's going to show up on the screen.
There we go. Oh wait, what happened?
Are you doing the calendar or are you doing the other one?
No, so I'm looking at the calendar now. So both calendars share data. Your entries will appear in both versions. Oh, cool. So like you can essentially have it here. Well, it didn't. Oh wait, Twitter style. Oh, hold on. Here's the other one. This is it. Let's see. Okay, not sure what happened on this one. Hold on. Let's make it bigger. Share this tab instead. Okay, so obviously, like just taking the Twitter link didn't really work the best. I took the Twitter link from Ms. Gecko's video, being like, "Hey, can you emulate this?" I had no idea what was going to happen, but obviously, like maybe not the best thing. So like maybe just stick to the prompting for now. But this shows you kind of, I guess, maybe like both iterations or both versions. Yeah, maybe not like this one. Maybe wasn't like the most. Here, open Twitter style HTML and click the floating button. Oh wait, hold on. Click the Twitter style HTML and floating button. Hit the plus button to add your first Instagram worthy moment. Do tell. Oh, no, that's not it. Huh.
We can't see anything. We just see the social calendar, by the way, unless if you'd like us to watch it.
Yeah, no. This was it. This is the only, like, this is what I'm seeing currently. Yeah, so I didn't have anything else.
I like the way the calendar was before. I guess this is where your prompting really has to be aligned. This dynamic calendar that you presented before really makes sense, but clearly this is where we were talking about prompting last episode, to actually understand how to sort of prompt it, and then also how to transform if you get the wrong answer. So this looks great. One of the things that would be really good for Omi Juan, if you go back to his sneaker page, I think there's a really important feature that we didn't talk about, which I think is really good for everyone, especially when building. It's just the best practice to always test and see what it looks like on different screens. So the top right-hand corner, you'll notice that there's a way to see the screen and an iPhone. You should be able to see it. I don't see it right here, but I think it's after. It's all the way. I see it on my screen, but I'm not seeing it here right now.
You're talking about toggle between like the mobile, toggling between mobile and desktop?
Yeah, there's two there. It's actually the desktop. It's presenting you, I think it presents you 3 versions, which is a version you're working live with. And then it allows you to click on that tab to show you the desktop and the mobile, which is really important when building mobile ready apps. So, and with everyone really in Instagram and TikTok and all of these apps, you need to make sure that they work and they're functioning and they're mobile ready in that space as well.
Yeah. So you guys can see, I know what you're saying. I have it here, but it's essentially just, the only difference is it shows like full width, right? Meaning like obviously like the desktop version, and then what you're typically seeing when you're building like within GenSpark, I think is probably going to be more like the mobile iPad kind of optimized version. So and I'm looking at this other one, this Vinted one that we did. So here, maybe let's kind of go down this route, because I feel like, but Omi One, let me see. That shit was fucking fire. The Find Your Perfect Kicks thing. Oh, so it did. Okay, it's better. It looks better.
It's a little bit better. It lined up all the prices at the top. So
you know what I find interesting? That it's calling it featured drops. I find that very interesting, because I find it interesting because if someone's, I guess the person who's a sneakerhead would actually know what that is.
Yeah.
In terms of the term.
Yeah.
And it's funny because for me, like, from a Web3, like, collecting standpoint, like that just means these are like the latest drops, right? This is the newest stuff to come to the website. So
yeah.
Looks great. It's actually really cool.
It looks fucking cool as hell, bro. And it's got like the tags on it, the whole 9. And here's another like trick too that I kind of use as well. And I didn't know how to kind of go about this in the beginning, because I'm like, if you kind of get stuck like prompting and you're just like, I don't know like what I can say, I always just say like, just ask it whatever, and and then you can kind of iterate afterwards. But what I realized too is I sometimes use like GPT-5 to essentially say like, hey, I want to build, like, here's my ideas. And I just like, I data dump like into GPT, and I'm just like, this is kind of what I want to build. Can you put together like a prompt that I can feed, like just plain text, right? Like markdown format, like into GenSpark, that, would allow me to like build something like this. You know what I'm saying? And it can like build out like your whole shit. I think now, like, let's kind of like, I want to showcase like what we did last week so everyone can see. Cause like the second we got off here and I saw that they released AI Developer, hold on, I'm going to share my screen so you guys can see this now, because I think looking at this, I mean, this was crazy. Vintage style. No, where is it? Dun, 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 dun. The data diaries, GenSpark transcript summary. Oh my God, I have like 1,000,001 tabs open, so bear with me. Media style calendar. Okay.
He really does love his tabs, doesn't he?
Oh my God, I tab out. I'm like a psycho with this stuff. It's nuts. Okay, here we go.
And
So
he
check this
also
out.
likes tapping really hard on the computer keys.
Why, you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for real? Damn. I wasn't even tapping.
You
That's
got
crazy.
some fat fingers, buddy. Fat fingers.
You're taking me
Okay,
back
so
to the story time days.
yeah. So check this out. So this is like, so the second we ended last week, I was like, okay, then like let me see what this thing can genuinely do. And I was like, I want to build a data diaries website, right? So I went into this developer and I was like, I want to build a website specifically for this show. I want to have it linked to, different socials. I want to be able to obviously have the episodes hosted. Now with this, I only did like remember the options that we had in the beginning where it was like website or whatever, general app. And then the second one was like full stack. You can do full stack, right? I just did the first one. And what that means is I can't ultimately like upload files like using the first one, right? It has to be kind of that second option so that you're able to then upload all of these different files if you wanted to. That's not what I did here because I just wanted to test it out. But look at kind of like I gave it the logo, right? So like we have the Data Diaries logo. I fed it the logo and I said, this is like the color scheme that I want you to use, right? Like, so keep this like, keep this consistent. And then I just want you to create the site. Literally 10, 15 minutes later, it spits this out. And I probably did maybe like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 10 iterations afterwards, just to kind of like tailor it in. But check this out. What I was able to do is now, okay, you come to the site, here's what you have. You can genuinely go watch replay of episode 1. I click on this, boom. It takes me to the Twitter page where it shows the first episode with the full breakdown, right? Because I obviously posted this on Twitter. Pretty fucking cool, right? Now I keep scrolling down. It tells us about the show, right? Like it created all of this, right? Essentially giving everybody the breakdown of the show. It says meet the host. We were able to link literally all of our different socials, right? So if I click on this, boom, I go to Juan's Twitter page. Perfect. Now I keep scrolling. Episodes. I linked the episode here to Twitter. I could link it to YouTube. I could generally link it to wherever we want. This was the, what's it called for episode 2. Let's see if it actually takes us there right now. Bam. This was the, what's it called for episode 2. Actually takes us there right now. How nuts. Like that was it, right? I click on this here. This is nuts. This is crazy. This is crazy shit. And then I scroll down and obviously like have links to all of like the different tools that we said we're going to be highlighting obviously throughout the course and the season of the show. And obviously shout out to GenSpark that we put on here, but quick links to everything. And then sponsors, sponsors, get at us. We're trying to sell some media over here. You know what I mean? But yeah, like really quick so people can genuinely see what's what. And then custom packages, you're ready to partner with us. And then this sends them directly to, because we haven't set up an email yet or anything else, but so you guys can see like how simple this genuinely was. Click, click, click. And then it's like DM me here, DM here. Here's where the show is. And then you have obviously everything down here in the footer. It's clean. Yeah.
No, really quick, David. Not only sponsors, but to everybody out there watching, like send us ideas. Let us know of stuff that you're thinking of doing or trying to do or didn't know if it's possible. Send us ideas. We'd love to hear what you guys are working on or what ideas you have, and maybe we can see if we can do something like that.
Yeah. I would also make the recommendation to rewatch the video and try to practice what we've done here and play around with the terminology, play around with maybe it's not a sneaker, maybe it's something else. Dave, did that link work, by the way?
Let me see.
Because I did what you suggested and it should be okay now. And then I could explain a little bit of that because it's very interesting and I think a lot of people would find it of value. I'm curious to see how it looks, but I'll talk about it.
Yeah, hold on. Let me share this up so that you can see this one.
Let's see. Hopefully it's yeah, okay, so let's get the larger view of Sofia Morales. Let's expand this so that we could see it larger. Is that possible? Okay, great. So what I did here was I just went with a prompt of creating a Hispanic female user-generated content creator and she focuses on fashion, lifestyle, and luxury, or just travel. And what the problem that I wanted to solve is there's a lot of people in the content creator economy. There's a lot of people that are really talented that don't know how to get themselves seen and heard out in this very, very noisy marketplace, right? But you have some really talented people around the block. You have some friends, you have some family. And all I did was ask it to make a site which presented what I do, what I focus on, and some bits and bobs about my portfolio of what clients would want to see, so that people could go, companies or brands could go directly to the creator, cutting out the middleman. And as you could see, what it did is it gave the number of years that the person's been creating content, how many brands they've worked with, what their content niche is. So this is really super powerful. And this is just a one pager. All
That's
of this
really
is on
cool.
a one page. So, and
This
and
is
all
really
I did
cool.
is, the first one was a masculine color, and all I said is, this is a female UGC creator. And now you could see that it's like she's getting the prompts. Everything's super positive, super clear, simple. It's got her links to her socials, and all they have to do is send her information. You got her phone number, everything. And this is super powerful because anyone, even your abuela, could do this. Your abuela could do this with her pasteles. Your abuela could do this with her afufujas. Your mother could do it with her, like, whatever she likes doing with her hobby. That's why I said Etsy. Etsy and some of these companies like Flanks, which is a really weird name for what it does. But Flanks is a website that you could actually hire Instagram influencers. Like, you get to see their engagement rate, and it really takes the analytics out of everything. And then it actually shows you those creators. I think that this is going to give the opportunity for creators to sort of take command over what they're going to get paid and cut out the middleman, because they'll be drowned out.
Got it. This looks really cool.
And it's not very interesting
cool
for men sometimes, because it's majority of the UGC creators for health and beauty, fashion, lifestyle, they tend to be women. So this is more of a feminine niche where women like to take photos. They like to go to travel. They like to be on the beach. They like to be out and getting dressed. And then, of course, you have those men or their boyfriends that might take the pictures for them. But, like, I see this all the time across the pond. And it's really powerful because this type of work is better than working at a grocery store or a department store. And you could make a little bit more. I'm not promising you millions, but you definitely could pay a little bit more. And Dave's already testing out, ready to collaborate. I'm very curious to see how it works out.
I love this, Miss A, because I think that content creators and people like this, and that are able to reach a big audience, are starting to really make a name for themselves. I think companies are looking for people like this to be able to help promote their products. And if they have a site like this that the companies can go to right away and see, I mean, this is just really going to help them with getting that brand and that name out there.
Look how cool that was.
The future. That was awesome. That was really great, Dave. This is going to be the future of portfolios. So, like, when I used to hire models are going to do the same thing at some point, because this makes it very easy for a model to present their portfolio and all the brands that they've worked with and all the magazines and the PR by themselves. This may very well take away the job of a booking agent for the model. And it allows the brands to actually get the model directly. And I think that's democratizing that person's ability to make revenue without having to worry about them not being technical or not knowing finance or not knowing this, because all those agents would be working for them. All they would have to do is be able to create the whole process. And that dovetails back to what we said before about the workflow. The workflows are the vital, vital part of everything in AI automation. The workflow is golden. If you don't have at least a foundational workflow that makes sense, don't overcomplicate it, keep it simple, and then build on the foundation of that simplicity.
Yeah, that was really cool. This is really cool. And look, so everybody knows, like, this is where, like, you can embed your TikTok video, right? So all you would do is literally just take the link to your TikTok video or to your profile, your TikTok profile, your Instagram profile, your YouTube. You literally just upload it into the prompt and just say, hey, under the featured work section, this is my TikTok video, just like I did on the Data Diaries website. Like, the same thing. Like, I uploaded all of, like, the different what's it called? all of the different like links, right? Like to episode 1 or to Twitter or to our profiles. You do the same exact thing. And all you do is like you input that into the prompts and you're good to go. Really simple. Emma, should we showcase the Vinted one?
Yeah, actually bring that one up and I'll kind of share what it's about, because back in the days of Clubhouse, so let's back up the truck a little bit here. Vinted is an app that I'm not even sure if it's in the US, but for all my fashionistas out there, double check and see if Vinted is in the US. It should be in the App Store. But what Vinted is an app in Europe that allows you to purchase and sell products person to person. Right. So they're like literally like Dave has a product, Dave has a pair of sneakers, Omi Juan wants to buy them. Dave puts it on Vinted. He's like, all right, I want like $50 for it. Omi Juan comes in and says, oh, wow, I want these. He clicks on it. He makes the purchase. Bam, it's done. The transaction's complete. It gets shipped, etc. The part of why I think this is really important is because we're moving towards this recycle, upcycle fashion space where the fashion industry is the most unsustainable chain in the world out of all the supply chains. And it's mainly because of Temu and Shein. See what I'm saying? When we have this sort of fast fashion market that just keeps on cranking out all this really, really crazy fashion product, like the Primarks of the world, like you have all of them. The challenge here is that we can't keep on producing like this. If we keep on producing like this, we're going to hurt the actual supply chain of cotton and the ability to actually create clothing that's natural. That's actually something that we naturally could use. But people that purchase from these sites because they want the fast fashion hit, they don't realize how bad they're actually making it for future generations. So the big movement now is these sites like Vinted, or like the old version would be like when you go to the Salvation Army and you go and buy something that's used, or a thrift store and you buy something used. Vinted is like your digital version of that. And I think we're going to see a lot more of these digital recycle, upcycle websites, because everyone has different likes and needs of why they dress, what they like to wear. Like Omi Juan loves collecting, he's a sneakerhead. I might be someone that likes buying vintage luxury bags. See what I'm saying? So like everyone's got their own niche, which is why I think there's a huge white space where a lot of people could come in here. Yeah, these casting couches are a hot mess, I'm sure. But anyways, needless to say, I know the fashion industry could go really crazy. I totally agree. Well, that isn't this particular topic of AI. However, when you look at what we're looking at here, you have a number of products that this is just really looking at how quickly this app was created. It's giving you the original price of the item and it's telling you what you're buying it at and what a discount you're getting. So the only thing that would be excellent here would be marrying Vinted so that it actually verifies that the product is authentic. Like, for example, consignment shopping. When you go to consignment shopping, they already verify that your Gucci bag is a verifiable Gucci bag and it's not a fake. So this is where I clearly could see the blockchain coming into play with track and trace and provenance, because that is where the marriage of this whole chain or this whole process comes together. So that's where we start creating like a circular economy by saying we don't want this to tarnish our supply chains. We want to bring used product into the chain and we want to do a circular economy, which means we want to pull it back in, loop it into the circle, and someone else would want to buy it because it's kept in a decent condition. And for that, they're going to pay much less for it. And now with everyone worried about what they're paying for stuff, I believe that this is where we're going to see a lot of movement. And you're going to see a lot of the bigger brands start to recognize they're going to have to start setting it up an arm. And I think I've already seen this in talking to some of the fashion houses. Some of them are actually taking back their products instead of leaving them on the sales floor. If they're not selling, they're taking them back and putting it into their own discount hubs. For example, I know Gucci does this, Prada does this. They don't leave their sale product in the US. They ship it back to Italy, and then Italy sells it in the outlets in Italy, and you will find a 50 to 60% reduction on that same item in Italy. You will not find that reduction in the US. And I think that's why, as an Devil Wears Prada type of person, I definitely this is like my jam. Like when it comes to fashion business and forecasting and like the supply chain and where the products are going, my love was always menswear, but I can understand how it moves through the chain. And we need to be really, really, really aware of the products that we're purchasing and the impact that these products that we're buying are having on the market and on the supply chains and on global transportation. We need to be really more conscious of that and become conscious consumers, which is why a site like Vinted, a site like, a recycle upcycle site, fantastic. There it goes. And you could top this off by gamifying it and make it a digital twin, which is really where we started talking with like DressX and Fabricant, because both of those companies are focused on digital fashion. And digital fashion is, in fact, where we'll go, but that's for the metaverse, which we're not there completely yet. We still have to wear clothes. We don't want to see everyone running around naked just yet.
In the metaverse? Why not?
We're going streaking.
In the metaverse, maybe.
In
the metaverse, maybe. I know. In the metaverse, maybe. But I'm also talking about like, we're not there where we're going to do like Second Life. You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day in the 90s, we had Second Life. And Second Life was the OG metaverse. So if you could imagine, we're like in a place where we're iterating the next version of that metaverse, but we're not quite there yet. We're not in the Ready Player One stage yet. And maybe the three of us might not be around for that. We might not be around for that.
It's coming sooner than later. I don't know if you're familiar with Futureverse, but that's a whole other topic, and we can get into that on another stream.
I'm familiar with Futureverse, but I also don't believe it's going to come that fast.
Oh, it's here. The immersive internet.
We're gonna have like a little like boxing match over here. No, I'd actually say you're correct, Dave, because I was at Met AMS, which was it's the VR AR. They focus on a lot of virtual reality. Muting myself.
Oh yeah.
I think that's all going to come down to once those haptic suits become a lot more available. That's where you're really going to get that immersive experience, right? Where you're actually feeling stuff. That's going to be crazy.
And AI is going to be the thing to take us there, bro. Like I'm telling you, like shit's gonna, like it's gonna, like you know what I just realized also. Yo, Vinted, if you're watching, like don't get at me. Like we just literally just cloned it. Like we're not pushing that out. All right, so we don't want no problems.
Informational purposes only.
Information, yeah, exactly. Teaching purposes only. Like that's it. We're not trying to do nothing else. Okay. Yo, that shit would be crazy. Imagine they're getting at us. They're being like, "Oh, what the hell are you guys doing?" Nothing. We weren't doing nothing. We want no problem.
We need to put a disclaimer that this is just for educational. Oh yeah, educational purposes.
All educational purposes. We're not building anybody businesses. We're just showing people what's possible. Get out of my DMs. All right, just everyone get out. Like, yo, crazy. Okay, let me see. What else? Okay, what else did we have cooking? The trading card one. All right, so let's see the trading card one. So we also wanted to,
Dave, really quick, I had a question because I know Miss A had mentioned it. I don't think I saw it on my site, but I did see it on hers where it shows the mobile version. Were you able to show that so you can see how it would look on a mobile phone?
Yeah, so I think it's important to see that.
Yeah, I think what that is this, right? So hold on, I'll show you. Let me share.
It actually shows two little images.
Yeah, hold on, I'll show you. And I think that's what you're actually looking at. Meaning when you have it split screen, right? Like this is the mobile version. You get what I'm saying? Like this is what it's going to look like on the mobile version, right? So that like this gives you kind of that, oh, this is cool, Charizards and whatnot. This right here is when you do it full screen. This is going to be.
What's the one next to it though? There's a button next to it.
This?
No, go out of this and go back to where.
Oh, sorry. I mean this.
Right. Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, that's the toggle button right there.
So when I hit this, there you go.
Yeah, that's the version that I was talking about. There's a mobile version that shows you what it'll look like on your phone, on iPhone. So this is really cool. So it toggles between the iPhone version. Thank you, Omi Juan. It toggles between the phone version and the actual full screen version, which is if you click back on it, it'll show what it looks like on a website. And those are important for when you're building, right, Dave? If you're building a card thing, whatever. Remember, we're taking on the role of the builder. So this is the website when you move everything out of the way, right? But if you wanted to see what this looks like on a mobile ready, is that a Pokemon?
Yeah. Pikachu.
I love Pikachu. But yeah, so it allows people, remember, we're speaking to potential builders. So they would want to know what this looks like both ways.
So I'd want to maybe
Thank you,
see.
Omi-Wan, for that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, it's important, right? Because you can
Facts.
format it perfectly like this, but then when you switch it to the mobile app, it's just not going to look the same. So you want to
Indeed,
make
but
sure
this
that
looks great.
Yeah, no, this looks great, but it's to your point. You got to make sure you look at both perspectives and you make sure that both look like what you're trying to, deliver.
Well,
So,
it's also that people, when they come to the site, they're able to make a purchase. The main thing is that the call to action's available to them, that it doesn't make the UX, the user experience, crappy. Sorry, I said it. I called out the pink elephant in the room. The reason why the entire digital space right now for alternative things like well, we don't have to talk about that, but the reason why there's a problem in some of the emerging markets is because we haven't gotten the UI UX right to bring in the masses. And the hardest gap to bridge is from early adopter to the next jump. That's the chasm.
So what are
that's
some of
the
like a
largest
UI?
to bridge.
So like what would you prompt, right? Like for like a really nice UI UX, right? Because this looks it all looks like standard and it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's better than what we were able to create before. But what would you put, like, what would I put in the prompt in order to get like the UI UX like looking sleek? Or do I just give it like like an example of another website?
You could do two things. One, you could give it an example of a site you like and maybe ask it to look at that site and fine tune this site to be something like that, right? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two would be, as you said before, which I also do this, I use a lot of AIs and I bounce them off each other. So when I do my prompts, I bounce them off each other to fine tune them, right? When I fine tune that prompt, I make sure to make it that I talk to it for a while to tell it that I want it to have a good experience for the user, that it's easy to navigate, it's got clear tabs, it's got clear buttons, it's easy on the eyes, everything's in order. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of like the user experience. And UX is a big deal for a lot of people because people are on a train. If it's sticky, if it's nice and sticky, they'll stick around. And that's what you want. You want them to be playing in it and stay in it. It's why these Tetrises and all these games are so much fun because they mesmerize you. They put you in a trance when you're inside of it. And that is really the art of UX, is that you come in and it's the old school stickiness of the old websites, right? The sticky feeling means they get stuck in there and you breadcrumb them into the website. So it takes them a lot to get back out. And that's what enables them to make a purchase. So there's a lot of neuromarketing principles in here and neuroscience of selling. So there is a lot of that stuff embedded when someone's identifying the UX of an e-commerce site or a mobile ready site or, a card shop or a gearhead shop, someone that really likes engines and fancy cars, kind of right there.
And to your
I
point,
hope that answers your question.
Yeah. And to your point, the user experience means attention, right? And the longer that you can keep somebody's attention, the more profitable that you'll be in the long term, right? Because
the chances that they'd actually make the sale is what they're looking for.
Right.
Sorry.
So that's no. That's great for clarifying that because that's the thing, right? You want them not only to be in your app or be in your site or whatever it is, but you also want them to, eventually close the sale, right? So if you have a better user experience, they're going to stay on the site a lot longer, and the chances of you closing the sale are a lot greater.
But and Omi-Wan and Dave, you're kind of looking at something that's very also somewhat feminine. When you go into a store to make a purchase from a salesperson, it's a sales process that they're going through. Like that customer service is what's going to make you feel welcome in that shop or that bar or that restaurant. And that customer service is the first line to your dinner, to your clothing. And if they're not able to sell you, and Gary Vee talks about this a lot, he does these exercises in his workshops. Can you sell me the product? Can you sell it to me? Without anything, could you sell it to me? And there's just a lot of people that don't have that skill because whether or not they're afraid to speak their language, they're afraid to speak up, they're afraid they're going to upset someone, they don't want to be pushy, they don't want to be told that they talk too much. I think that this is a really unique time we're living in because those skills are going to be a necessity as we go into this creator economy and as we go into this AI automation economy. Those talking skills, those persuasive skills and persuasive selling are going to be a gold mine combined with AI.
Agreed.
Look at this thing, man. This thing is cooking. Hold on. This thing is cooking right now, guys. Like, check this out. So, let's see what it did.
Could you scroll through so we could see it? Look at me being
Essentially
impatient.
what I said, so essentially what I gave it was like simple, right? I want the UX to be really slick, organize my cards into different collections. So basketball, football, Pokemon, etc., and get the colors like more integrated.
Ooh.
Fancy.
It's fancy. Let's scroll through this and see how he's, well, it's not completed yet. We're actually, our brains are faster than this AI. Did you say
I want it now? Yeah.
Okay, let's go through this. I think this is really cool.
Yeah, hold on. So it's updating everything now, like, because it goes like step by step by step, right? Like, and it's like, okay, now
that's how computers. Yeah,
this is cool.
Oh wow!
Like, this is a lot. Here, hold on. Let's see this. Let me share this tab here. Like, that's cool.
It looks. It pops more. It pops more.
And then, so what I'm going to do then is so I should have done what we did for the sneaker one, right? Where it's just like make sure that like you search the web. Yeah. Pull the actual cards, right? Like, even though they're placeholders, like pull the actual cards so that it can, maybe it's not done. Who knows? Let's see.
Look at the code and see if it's done thinking.
Let's see.
Oh, it's still working.
Yeah, still going. Card image aspect. Okay, so yeah, see, now it's like also like making sure that it like lines up perfectly. Like, there's so much stuff that you can do with these tools, man. It is not. Also, look, every little bit websites, every little bit like update. Yeah, what were you gonna say?
Don't be afraid to pause it and ask it to find those images, because remember, this is a processor, so you are okay stopping it and asking it to do that, search for the images, and then have it continue. Do you know what I'm saying?
My brain, you're right. My brain, the way my brain works, I'm always like, but I just want to see what else. Because then I'm just like, what if there's something else? You know what I mean? I'm like, let me just see what else comes up. Like, let me see the finished product, and then let me edit it.
But that's because that's your like impatient brain. I'm actually just looking at it technically as it goes through the 7 or 8 steps. The key is that you want to see the fully complete finished product, and we don't want to spend hours fleshing it out. So it's always okay to pause it and say, wow, I forgot for it to check for the actual cards.
But that's what I'm saying is like, my mind is like, I gave it initial instructions and I want to see that through, because I don't know if it's done fully integrating the colors or something else, because I don't know where 100%. It's going to ultimately like pick back up. Right. So it's like, that's how, like, I don't know. I guess like everyone's going to iterate, I guess, right? Like on their own just to kind of be like, how does this actually work? Like, what am I going to actually do with this? Right. Like, so I don't know. I think like you kind of have to like it's almost like find your own style in a way. You know what I'm saying? Indeed. Especially when it comes to vibe coding, like find your own slick style.
Well, cool. You've just hit the nail on the head. We're 3 different personalities. And I'm sure it's entertaining to hear us all talk, and like it's always fun. And I think it's really awesome because I'm looking at it from a lens of like, I want to see the finished product, and I'm going to keep on tacking at the code till I like make sure that I fine tune it to the point that I don't have to write any more code or any more prompts. Whereas you're a little bit different. You want to let it complete, see what it looks like, and then go back to it. But I also could do that too. I think just in on what mood you're in, right? I think sometimes, having come from places where companies in consulting where we had to deliver really fast, we have to really make a mock-up. Like AI right now, GenSpark AI, like this is game changing, because I could create like 10 or 20 MVPs in record time that I've never been able to do before. And that's amazing for me, because it allows me to be able to sort of like build an app or build a mock-up or a USP quicker than anything. And, even in my education, this is just game changing, how this is going to change education. It's going to change processes on how things are done. But this is why, dovetailing back to what I said in the beginning, you will still need the human element of review.
Yeah.
And to make sure that the content is morally and ethically correct. Because what you picked up on, Dave, which is accurate, This is for education purposes. This is what we're doing. We're not going to put these sites live. We're just using it so that people could watch it and see what's possible for them, right? And maybe they might get triggered to be a little bit more creative. But we don't want, emails and DMs of like cease and desist or something like that simply because we're kind of taking,
back up.
No,
Back
but
up.
that's why I said,
yeah,
indeed, but that's why I said it's interesting because those same folks could also come to us and be like, hey, this is really cool. We have a team of people that I think could really benefit. Can you help us get to where they could do this on their own? And what tool would you recommend? And I think that's what's really powerful is until sponsors pay for that spot at the bottom of the screen, it's a free spot. So whoever pays the most gets the little logo at the bottom of the screen. And if we have more than one, we'll rotate you through based on minutes. Okay. So just realize we're 90 minutes. So just say you want it to be 30 minutes. You want it to be the whole time. It's going to be way more than 15 minutes. Just let you know. But this is the important thing to understand because I have a list of over 1,000 AI tools, over 1,000.
Easy.
And that list is constantly growing every day. And that was over 1,000 like a year ago. And I've gotten to such a point where AI could also overwhelm you, as Dave was saying in the beginning. You have to really take a deep breath, step to the side, go have a cup of tea, go do some matcha or something, and go run around the block, go walk your dog, go get some fresh air, because staying in front of this all day doesn't really work. And as Omi Juan knows, if you stay in this too long, you need to get out and go for a walk because the biggest developer thing is that you're in front of something so much, it all looks the same. It all starts to blend together. So your creative juices have kind of gotten stuck. So you need to go into the walk, into like nature and just get yourself away from the screen.
Yeah. And look, like I literally was looking at the different tools. Yeah,
and don't pick up vaping.
Vaping is bad for you. But like vaping, don't vape, kids.
Pick up yoga and meditation. It's very good for you.
So check this out. So I literally just added, I was like, you know what? Like, let me see if I can add like because I wanted to see like all these other tools, right? Like we have if GenSpark has all of these tools at its disposal, like I want to be able to maybe incorporate a ton of them. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right, can you do me a favor? Can you add like a podcast, like episode about trading cards? And it's literally now going to embed like a whole audio player, right? Like, so it's creating the database for it's going to say, hey, we're going to, the podcast is going to be about this. It's then going to go and pull the audio. It's going to create the audio either using 11 Labs or Google, like text to speech, create the audio, right? Like first create the text, then take that text, create the audio, and then embed the player into the site, which I think is really, really fucking crazy.
Dave,
think about this. Yeah.
I have a question for you, Dave, because I know you've had some great conversations with GenSpark.
Yeah.
And now because we have like 13 minutes left and I think these are amazing. But there's one question that's been gnawing at me, which has to do like, let's kind of take this a little bit forward and say, let's say the site is done. Let's say the site's done. What is the implications when the site's done and we want to deploy it, which means we want to make it live. We want to put it on a domain. But now you said something really important. If it embeds all of these bits and bobs that are other AIs, what ends up being the cost for the person to actually make the site live and take ownership of that site? And I don't think that's very clear right now.
Facts. Yeah, I think that is a great question. I haven't even gotten that far, right? Because and I'll give you the perfect example. Like we created the data diaries one, right? Like, because in my head, I'm thinking, okay, we created this now. I have a GenSpark link, but what I can do is, and this is where like my technical know-how or expertise is literally zero, but from building other sites before, you can host it on a custom domain. So here, check this out. So if I go into GenSpark, hold on, I'm going to share this screen with you guys. Hold on one second. Hold on. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to go back here. So if I go to, let's say, one of these, let's say the weekly calendar app. Okay. So now the weekly calendar app is here. In order to essentially make this live, right, so that I can share it with other people, I have to hit publish, right? Now, over here, it shows you If you want to put it on a custom domain, meaning like you go to GoDaddy or wherever, you register a domain for $5 a year. You know what I'm saying? It literally gives you the directions on exactly how you want to be able to do that. So you would go and open up a Cloudflare account. You go to my profile under Cloudflare, API tokens, and it says create a token, edit Cloudflare. Now, I don't know. It seems pretty simple. I have never done this before, so I don't know exactly how this would work. Maybe we feature it on next week's show. And I kind of get a little bit more clarity.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal question. Yeah, I think it's a great question, but like at the end of the day, I think this is this is something that has to be talked about, because it's like, how do I bring it to fruition, right? Like, how do I get to the end? Because if we're saying this whole part is easy, how do we get to the final piece? And that's important. But yeah, good question.
So something that's here from just having taught HTML when I was an adjunct professor, shockingly enough, I used to teach HTML. If you take a look at these preview, file explorer, database, and tutorial, you see that on the you see that up there. What it looks like is, and I agree with you 100%, Dave. I think we need to take one of these examples and publish it so that people could see the end-to-end solution, the end-to-end, A to Z, soup to nuts,
you
right?
mean custom domain?
Yeah, meaning like we need to take them through the whole thing, because the clearest way is to let them see like one completion of a project. And actually that would mean setting up Cloudflare, and getting it organized. What Cloudflare does is that it does the security of the site to make it secure. It's that little box that you have to check all those like crazy things, match the hydrants. That's a security check. That's what Cloudflare is. But the file explorer is where all your indexed files are for the actual build of the site. So if you click on that file explorer tab, you're going to see, like, I believe you'll see a whole bunch of files in here.
This is all your GitHub. Like, this is where your GitHub stuff lies, right? So this shows essentially.
But time out. Breathe for a moment, because GitHub is not where I would. Okay, so this is a very interesting statement you made. I could have these all on my own computer. I don't have to have these on GitHub. GitHub is really for more, I find GitHub for like really developing and like really programming. But let's say you're just a Joe Schmo and you just want to have this on your local device, and you would put it on, you'd put all these folders into a folder on your computer that you would upload to a server, which would be your domain host. Right? And then you would have a Cloudflare account that would actually allow it to become interactive and engaging. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that it's complete. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm kind of getting from this folder structure. Because when you see index HTML and CSS and JS,
these are the different pieces of your website, right? Like this is essentially like the design aspect. Sheet. This is how the buttons, the styles, this is what it's about, right? Like, and this is essentially all of the files that make up the website that they just created for you. That's what it is, right? So if you
open up CSS, you'll see exactly what it is. Click on the little caret right there. See, this is the style sheet to the whole site. So this tells you all the colors and all of the borders and everything. If you click on the one below, there's your calendar. This is what you built before, right? There's your calendar. There's your special calendar. And then the README usually gives you instructions. And then right at the bottom was an HTML style of what it would look like, which you said was kind of like not really what you were looking for. But when you read the text, it should be also commented. You see that blue that's there? It's commenting to you what it does, which is good coding practices. You see that blue? See that blue right there? Inside that code, that's telling you what it does. Sorry, I'm getting techie and geeky on you guys. My bad.
Yeah.
Developer to look, a diagram, a flow.
Cool. What else, guys? Anything else that we wanted to showcase that we didn't?
Dave, when you were saying adding stuff, it made me think of those stores that you used to go to that had the music pumping like super loud. You know what I mean? So I was thinking, man, let me add some music to the site that would go with the sneakerhead vibe. And it created a couple tracks and it put it on there and it made like a little player. So I'm like, that's kind of cool, right? Like, so I was just let me share.
That's dope. That I like. That's really cool. Yeah, because like it's like, where does your imagination just keep it going? You know what I'm saying? That's That's
Yeah,
fucking
so
cool.
I said, can
Oh,
you add music
dope.
to the site that will add aesthetic and vibes of a sneakerhead? And it says, yeah, perfect. That's a great idea. So you can choose a couple different tracks and you can play it. I don't know if the music will
It should come through. Play it.
Let's see. Wow, that's tight.
All right, so
Wow, that's really nice. That's fire. That's
that's one
really
track,
nice.
and then there's a trap flow. Let's see.
Oh, nice. I like it.
This is literally like when I walk into like flight school, you know what I'm saying? Like on Broadway, like this is what I'm hearing. Like legit.
Yeah. So
That's fire.
So cool.
yeah, so it's just crazy, right? You could just do just about anything. You just gotta ask.
That's awesome.
That's wild. Good shit. All right, kids. Well, man, I am fucking cooked. I'm starving. I'm gonna go eat some breakfast. But yeah, I mean, any
wow.
I know. Anything else, guys? Like before we head up, but like this was dope. Thank you guys for obviously helping showcase Omiwa and Miss A. Like this was incredible, man. Like I feel like there's so much cool shit being built, and GenSpark is coming out with their new design AI, I think in the next week. So we probably have a lot of shit to play with next week.
Design.
Maybe. Who knows?
We just need more credits.
Yeah, we got more credits yesterday, so like we're good.
I know you're like the credits. You like Santa came early and we got credits.
I give credits.
That means we're gonna get more.
Yeah.
I feel like it's Atari. You know, like when that's so funny. You just did that. Remember the video games? Where like
Atari. She dated herself right there. She's at Atari. Wow.
Remember Miss Pac-Man? Remember Miss Pac-Man? And Centipede? Come on. We all know those were the best arcade games ever was the 80s. Let's go. What are you talking about?
That was the classic Sonic ring sound. The little ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good shit. All right, guys, thank you everybody obviously for tuning in. Damn, we had 2,300 people like tune in. This was dope. Appreciate everybody that came through. Hopefully this was helpful. Nice. Let us know in the comments on X, YouTube, whatever, TikTok, Instagram. We're going to obviously be reposting a lot of this content as well. Shout out to GenSpark. And yeah, hopefully we're going to start playing with some other tools in the coming weeks as well. So we'll see. Appreciate everybody coming through. And guys, we're out. Episode 2, Data Diaries.
Have a great week, everyone.
Have a great week. Take care.
You've been watching the Data Diaries, where the future of AI gets personal. Your map at the crossroads of technology and creativity, where imagination and innovation intersect. Because the story is just getting started. Like and subscribe now, and be ready, because the next episode might just change the way you see everything. You've been watching the Data Diaries, where the future of AI gets personal. Your map at the crossroads of technology and creativity, where imagination and innovation intersect. Because the story is just getting started. Like and subscribe now, and be ready, because the next episode might just change the way you see everything.